I feel like because of what they've been posting, I think people want to rush the process. No strategy in this world. No matter who tells me it, I will never believe them, but no strategy is 100%. You know, confidence is huge in your psychology.
Getting back to trading after being scammed, because you felt like you were scammed.
Right? Yeah. I was scammed. I was scammed.
Okay.
I was scammed.
Yeah.
And that's what South Africans lack, is that the education part. And it's so easy for us to get scammed in South Africa because we're also like so gullible, you know. So I'll be honest with you, I was also gullible.
We just want the quick money.
We just want quick money, exactly, brother.
Yo, what's up, guys? Nqobile Tembane from Top Trader South Africa, and I'm bringing you guys another installment of Market Masters, and we are still in Cape Town, guys. Guys, I'm wearing the same clothes I was wearing in the previous episode, the episode before that, guys. Schedule is hectic. I don't want to change. It's fine. You guys will just adjust with it. No, but at least I'm giving you guys different guests every single time. So I think that's the best part. And that is the reason why we are here, guys. Why you guys have tuned in today. Today I've also got Devane Naidoo, but people call him Devo.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. No, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to I look forward to all the conversations I have with different types of traders. You know, there's always something new that you pick up from different individuals. You know, I'm always like willing to learn. I come here with a yearning spirit of like, I want to learn something. If I can just pick up one thing or 10 things, depending on the day.
Yeah. I mean, if I see on the road, on the side of the street, we're just gonna, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And then we gone. But this also involves conversation as well.
Yeah.
So you get to know somebody much more than just seeing them on the side of the street or at a conference or whatever the case is. You know?
Yeah. Let's get into the journey, journey of Devo, you know. But we were gonna start the journey before Forex, you know, what was happening in life before Forex.
Oh, that's a long journey.
Let's go.
So I finished school in 2014. Always had a passion for, you know, like being an entrepreneur. You know, always wanted to be one. But obviously, you have to start somewhere. So I started getting into the corporate world, built myself up in the corporate world, and then decided to say, let me take the journey of starting my own business. And took that step of faith, started my business. Unfortunately, I started it at the wrong time because it was around the 2019 time. Doors were open for about 6 months or so, and then COVID came in and stepped in. Business never failed immediately, right? Because was lucky enough to be able to service like, you know, police vehicles and stuff like that. But then where the business I was in, nobody thought about it as a priority anymore. You know, because obviously interest rates were high, all of those things, and they were like, you know what, I can do without this. So obviously business stepped down, and then I had to close the doors on that business.
From your daily life to global markets, the line is thinner than you think. Energy, rhythm, choices around you, never standing still. What feels ordinary is part of something greater. PrimeXBT turns what surrounds you into opportunities.
And then went back into the corporate world. Just before I went back into the corporate world, I then got introduced to Forex, right? And a cousin of mine took me to a seminar down in Joburg. And I was like, okay, this is how things are being done. Like, okay, there's, you know, money to be made. And then also going, I mean, obviously after a seminar, you want to know more.
Yeah.
So you go and you YouTube, what is this about? Learn a little bit more than what you currently know. And then went into a mentorship. Unfortunately, not to say I got scammed where I never got anything. I went for mentorship classes, but I feel like spending 25 grand on mentorship you should be getting a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should be getting at least something, you know what I mean? And, whenever I speak to people, they always say, when I went into mentorship, they got signal groups. I never got signal groups, right? I just got somebody teaching me about candlestick patterns. Yeah. So, at that time, obviously, I didn't know better. So took whatever that person taught me and tried applying it into, the charts and whatever the case is, and just broke even. Just broke even, and I did it for quite some time.
Yeah.
And went back into the corporate world, but still trying it on the side.
Okay.
On break, or if I'm not doing anything, I'm not busy, I just open the charts, try and, flip $500 or whatever the case is. But just always fail to make profit.
Okay.
Right? Always just broke even, and then blew an account and then refunded it, made that money back, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, it's not even worth it for me anymore. It's really not worth it for me. It's taking more of my time than actually making me money. Unfortunately, the content I was also consuming was the wrong content as well. Because I knew I was doing something wrong. Reached out to the mentor and was like, no, you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing it correctly. It's just not your time. And, always trying to twist the story, whatever the case is. I tried to get more content on YouTube and whatever the case is, but just fail to understand. Because also what YouTube does is they only give you certain points of a strategy, or they don't teach you everything. They gatekeep.
Yeah.
So I decided to stop it, right? And then continued in the corporate world. And then about a year ago, Sham, he introduced me to it. He was like, hey, listen, come, I know you're against it. I know you had a bad experience, as well as I also know somebody that lost a lot of money in trading. So it was also a hesitation, type of thing. So it took me 3 months or something to say, okay, I'll sit down with you and then you can explain it to me, And the information he was giving me, I've never heard it before, right? So I was like, okay, I never heard this before, so I need to start becoming like a sponge. And then we just started having conversation after conversation. I think we've spent 4 hours on a day on calls. Him just explaining to me. I never even opened up an account yet. And him just explaining to me. And then, it came to a point where he's like, listen, I'm going to take you under my wing. I'm going to teach you everything that I know. And then, I'm sitting here. Obviously, it's been a really good journey. My trading journey in this past year has been really good. I don't have any I don't have any huge type of things besides the being scammed previously. But in this 1 year, it's really been good for me. Yeah.
There's two sides of mentorship, and the other side that we never really talk about. It's the side of being mentored. We talk about this or the side of being a mentee rather than we put it like that. I think we pay for mentorship and we sit back and relax. We forget that on our side, we need to be actively engaging with our mentors, engaging with becoming mentees, putting in the work, What was it about your being mentored as well that you would say, no, actually you did it right today? Because I think a lot of mentees get mentorship wrong. They think mentorship is one-sided.
Yeah. I think from my side, I always ask the questions. If I didn't understand, I'm always going to ask a question. And even if it takes me 5 days to understand this specific thing, I'm always going to be asking the question again and again and again. And I think that's where students, kind of get it wrong, is they, as you said, they feel like it's one-sided. And they feel like, okay, I'm only here to learn. And yes, you are here to learn, but the thing is, you're not going to learn if you don't understand something. So asking questions is so important. I feel like, that's one thing that students get wrong and they don't do. You mentioned earlier on, or I think it was last night or overnight, doesn't matter, that psychology is key. When was that exact turning point for you? Because I think right now we're dealing with somebody who
you come from a background of just losing,
Yeah.
losing. And then when does that switch happen for you?
You know, confidence
Okay.
is huge in your psychology. I feel like people look at psychology from one side, like risk management and all of those things, but your daily life also impacts certain things that you do. I can be having a bad day today. You know, maybe a business deal went wrong, or maybe I had a fight with, a friend, whatever the case is. And what happens there is that you tend to open your chart and forget about all your rules that you've set for yourself, and you're just like, I'm annoyed. Let me just go and trade, because I look at trading as an escape,
Yeah.
into the real world. The byproduct of it is obviously financial gain, but I look at it as an escape. When I'm on the chart, I don't want outside noise. I want to be in my corner. I mean, I can take a trade here and there with some friends, being around friends and stuff like that. But I think most of the time I want to just be in my own bubble, not talking to anybody, and just trading by myself. Because any small distraction from the outside can change your whole mindset. Even being in a trade, you might have taken that trade when your psychology was like, I'm good. But then 2 minutes later, you might have gotten a call, or maybe somebody came to chat to you, and in an instant, something happens, and then you're like, I'm so annoyed. You go back to the chart, you start finding yourself over leveraging, and you're doing stupid things, like being in drawdown and just like, let me just go full mark gain, it's no risk, no rari, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So because now you're like annoyed, and you also want to change certain situations. Maybe there's something that one of your goals is to go to holiday or whatever, and you have that in the back of your mind. You're like, this person is annoying me so much. I don't want to go on that holiday tomorrow. Let me try and flip this account quickly. So I think a lot of people just take that in the wrong way, where they don't understand the psychology part of it. Yes, it's one side, risk management and all of those things, but it's also like your personal life, what you go through.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. One of my favorite things, so a lot of people, I know the viewers know that I love Monday mornings. Monday mornings are my favorite part of the week.
Yeah.
So I usually on a Monday morning, I have a quote that I read that's like, one positive thought can change your whole entire day. Exactly. And it's basically just reiterating what you're saying, is that how one small thing can just change
everything.
how you trade as well. Yeah, no, that's very powerful. That is very powerful. Okay, so see, thing is, getting back to trading after being scammed, because you felt like you were scammed.
Yeah. I was scammed. I was scammed.
Okay,
I was scammed.
you were scammed. Getting back into trading after being scammed. Trust is gone at this point.
Yeah.
Did you lose faith in Forex? Was the faith gone completely?
Yeah, so again, as I said, like, it was gone.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to understand it more than what I already did, because I felt like it's just wasting. I'm going to waste my time. I'm going to go do the same thing. I'm going to fund today, blow it tomorrow, and then fund tomorrow, and then the next day make my profits back. Because as I said, I always found myself at a break-even point.
Yeah.
Making money but then losing money. So it never left a bad taste in my mouth to say, okay, I'm never going to do it again. But I think, you mentioned trust.
Yeah.
I think the person that was relaying it to me, I trusted them.
Oh, okay.
Right? So the person that relayed the message to me to say, hey, try it. I'll teach you everything. I won't gatekeep. And, when you trust somebody already, it's easy for you to do or make certain decisions with them.
Yeah.
So I think that part, there was some sort of hesitation, and that's why it took me almost 3 months to make the decision. But I made the decision based on the knowledge I also gained from my mentor as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you think people who've been in that position, do you think they should come back to Forex, to trading, or they should give it one more try?
I think, for us at FX Cartel, we are huge on education. So however, we're not saying come to us for education, but we're saying wherever you go and find the education and it's the right information, then try and educate yourself first before you go and trade. or maybe make that decision to come back into it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always a door to step back into the, trading life or whatever you want to call it. But I think you have to understand what you're doing first, understand everything, how market moves, what makes market move. And then, to the finer detail to that as well,
Yeah.
understand how market moves and what makes it move. And then make that decision, okay, is it for me or is it not for me? We teach our students that when you're in mentorship, don't go and trade your live account. Just go and learn what the market is doing. Use your whatever you're learning to go and better it, or when you're going and looking at the chart, it's going to be better. You're going to see certain things happening. So that's what we teach them, and we don't tell them, hey, go and trade immediately. No, because we know that it's a process. When you're learning, it's like being a doctor. You have to go through 7 years or however long it is to become a doctor, and then you still have to go through processes. So it's the same thing with trading. We need to realize that there's processes first, understanding everything before we can step back into it. So if somebody is, or has been burnt before, and if they want to step back into it, that's the advice I would give them is, learn first and then take it from there.
Yeah. Are you still in corporate?
No. So, funny story, but yeah. So, I've obviously been profitable, and I've made the decision of recent to leave corporate and basically go full time into everything.
Okay.
Trading and teaching people, because that's what a huge thing.
Yeah.
And that's what South Africans lack is that the education part. And it's so easy for us to get scammed in South Africa because we are also so gullible, So I'll be honest with you, I was also gullible.
We just want the quick money.
We just want quick money, exactly, brother. I also want to buy my dark white Ferrari one. You know what I mean? So the thing is, we're all gullible at some point. And I feel like we get scammed, or for us South Africans, it's so easy to get scammed. It's so easy because, as you said, we just want to make quick. Some people just want to flip $200 because they want to go and buy bread tonight.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But then there's some people that obviously want to flip 200K, to go and buy a house type of thing. You know what I mean? So you obviously get different people, but we find that more than often that the guys that are hustling and want to flip their 200 Rand to maybe 100 Rand because they need to go buy bread tonight, we'd find that they are more at risk of getting scammed.
Sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned one of your motivations actually that brought you to Forex is the ability to out-earn people with degrees. Was that motivation, was it rooted in the fact of you just chasing financial freedom, or is it just something that goes beyond that?
So, obviously, growing up, for most people in South Africa, it wasn't the greatest growing up. Our parents did the hard work for us to be where we are today. But it's a journey on, not being financially free and always being answerable to the bank. For me, it was more of having time, firstly, because that's what trading allows you, is time. But then also the byproduct of it is also the money. So yes, there was some sort of part of it was financial, but then there was a lot of part of it was the time. There's a lot of people that work 9 to 5. I'm not saying leave your 9 to 5, but people work from 9 to 5 and they get so consumed in this corporate lifestyle that they forget about everything else, forget about the nice things in life. And I'm not saying nice things in life where we're saying we're going to go and travel and stuff, but just appreciating life, because you wake up at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock to go to work at 9, leave work, come back home, spend time with family, and then go to sleep. It's at that cycle. And then on the weekend, you just want to relax. You don't want to do anything. Versus with trading, I can be anywhere in the world, still do my job, because at the end of the day, we either need to treat it as a job or a business, but then able to, still have that time, So I think the main thing is the time, but then obviously the byproduct is the financial gain, yeah.
Yeah. How is leaving, because you said the leaving work is very recent.
Yeah,
Recent. How has that affected your psychology when it comes to trading right now? Because I think it's a big shift.
Yeah. So the thing is, it took me a long time to make that decision, right? But I also, I'm a person that relies heavily on like, the spiritual part of it.
Okay.
And, it was a thing of me praying about it and asking God, like, hey, is this the right path for me? And if it is the right path for me, show me that path first. Show me that path first, and then I'll make the decision based on that. And it took a lot of time and praying and fasting for me to realize that, you know what, this is the route I do want to take. Yes, it might be bittersweet because, it's leaving like that stable income, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's leaving stable income.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that thing of, making the time for myself, and then also understanding that it's not only done on my own strength, but it's also, with the strength from God as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're working, we know you don't have much time to yourself.
Yeah.
And it limits your interactions with the market. Cool. Somehow that's it's some sort of a safety guard for us, to be honest. Then when you kind of leave work, now you've got the time.
Yeah.
So do you ever find yourself at a place where you're overtrading?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, in the beginning, although like I was going through like mentorship and stuff like that, but in the beginning I found myself overtrading.
Okay.
So I would even leave sometimes like work while I'm doing.
Oh, while you were still at work?
While I'm still at work.
Yeah.
I'll be like opening the charts, looking for opportunities, whatever the case is, because now I want to apply what I'm learning.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was that part. But now I think I'm in a place where I don't need to overtrade. I'm okay with taking like 2 trades a day. In actual fact, I only trade 3 times a day.
Okay.
So it's like morning, midday, and afternoon.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it just works for me, and I've stuck to it. I've stuck to my rules. When I find myself overtrading, like maybe an extra trade or 2 in a day, then I always step back and I make sure that I don't trade for the next day.
Are there days where you find yourself putting in that extra trade and it goes your way?
Never. Never. And that's what, we always say, like, find your A+ setup.
Yeah.
Take that A+ setup. If it hits SL, it hits SL, right?
Yeah.
Market move that way, unfortunately. But stick to what you know and works for you. As I said, like, when you take that extra trade or 2, you always find yourself like losing all your profits for the day, or putting yourself in a worse off position because now you're overtrading. And that goes back to the psychology part. Is like you have to know what your limit is. If you find your limit and your safe ground, then you stick to that, and you don't trade anymore.
Yeah. How has trading actually shaped you as a person?
Sure. I think previously in the corporate world, like as much as I was open to people, but I could never like kind of be in a social circle and not be the awkward person. It was hard for me. I'll always be the quiet guy in the room and, be to myself. But it's also helped me like build myself and be more confident. Yeah, I think it's really helped me in my confidence as well. Like that's a huge thing, and the difference I see. But it's also like, it's also put me in a path where, like in the spiritual part of it, like it's also put me in a part where I know that every trade I take, whether it goes my way or it doesn't go my way, but I need to still be grateful what I have.
Yeah.
For what I have. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What has been the biggest loss you've taken? Like I said, I always put this, it's up to the person, but I always tell people it doesn't have to be a monetary term loss in terms of monetary, but what has been the biggest loss you've kind of taken on the charts?
Yeah. It's a sad one, but around about 68K.
Sure.
Yeah.
What makes it sad?
Because it was a point where it was like, one of those psychology days where your psychology is not correct. And you just like, I want to take a trade, kind of, take my mind off things, but it's not helping because, now you're going in, over leveraging, sitting in drawdown, adding more positions.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So yeah, it was a and that was like the first time where I was like trying to like now build my capital, you
Yeah.
know? Like, because you have to, like, build your capital in order to make more money. People can't become millionaires overnight with 1,000 rand, you know? So you have to build your capital in order to make that money. So it was at a point in my journey where I was also trying to build my capital. And I said, let me just risk a little bit. And once I get to this number, I'm gonna close the trade. But it just never went that way. And then, yeah, the account blew.
So do you feel like your target was unrealistic in that particular moment? Or was it just a matter of the market just didn't get to where you needed it to get?
I'll be honest with you, as soon as I opened that trade,
Yeah.
okay, obviously we're always going to be in drawdown as soon as you open your trade, but it just never went my way.
Oh, like it didn't even jump over.
No, I never even saw a blue screen. It's just, yeah.
So it just kept going
It just
opposite
going,
direction.
yeah, just started going.
And you had a deep conviction that this is a good setup.
Yeah, it was that A plus setup
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we speak about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was the thought, but it wasn't the A plus setup. Because after that, I went back to the chart and I realized, like, okay, it wasn't that A plus setup. It was actually, it wasn't even a setup.
Yeah.
But because, and again, that, we go back to the psychology
Yeah.
part of it. You go and look for things in the market.
Yeah.
You don't actually just follow your rules. Because once you follow your rules, you become profitable. But when you divert from your rules, then you start seeing yourself making big mistakes like that and start seeing your A plus setups. But
Yeah.
your A plus setups were never there
Sure.
to start off with. Yeah.
So you just start imagining things.
But it happens, right?
Imagining your Ferrari outside as well.
Yeah, your dark white Ferrari. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. What's one myth about trading that you have that's there that like it's kind of that you thought trading was, but it's not really that?
Yeah. I want to start speaking about something first before I answer
go
the
ahead.
question. So I think because of the content that's been put out of recent, there's a lot of guys with Ferraris, Lambos, and good for them. God bless them, and we should be happy for them. But I feel like because of what they've been posting, I think people want to rush the process.
Sure.
So I feel like people want to get rich quick, but it's not about that. Trading, I mean, yes, you can, trading a news event or whatever the case is. But if you want to be consistent, you have to have good trading plans and so forth. So, with people looking at certain things like Ferraris, Lambos, showing you my profits of 500, 600, 7,000 Rand, 500 or 600,000, Rand, sorry.
Yeah.
They get excited and they feel like they also can be there. And it's not. You can't flip 1,000 Rand in one trade to 500K. It's a compounding process. You have to compound 1,000 Rand and build it up. You can't trade 1,000 Rand and expect to make 1,000,000 Rand. So I think the biggest myth is understanding that what we see is that they've already established themselves. There's some of them that hasn't established themselves, trading demo accounts, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Right? We won't mention any names, but but at the end of the day, they're obviously showing their profits, and people get like consumed in it, and they want to be, hey, I want to take this. I also want to do this.
Yeah.
And then it rushes that process.
How important is personal development?
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I was having a conversation with the guys last night, and I was telling them, going back to the content part, you have to always be developing your mind because, it's mind, body, soul, right? So your mind controls everything, and you have to be constantly, like, not to say other content is bad, but you have to constantly training your mind to be learning new things. Self-development is huge. And it might not be related to trading or Forex, but it might be related to a business venture you want to go into. Or maybe you never thought about that for business venture, but now that you're listening to a podcast or, somebody speaking at a seminar about a specific business venture, then you start learning more. So yeah, I think self-development is huge. If you're not developing yourself and your mind, I think you're going to be stagnant. Even in your trading journey, it will also allow you to make certain moves and allow you to be like, hey, this is not important right now. this is important. So we need to prioritize, because I mean, when we make money, we want to spend the money, right?
Yeah.
So we have to also like prioritize, and that's what self-development helps with. Is that, okay, I need to prioritize this instead of that. So yeah.
What does your daily routine actually look like?
Yeah. So as soon as I wake up, the first thing I do is pray.
Yeah.
The first thing I do as soon as my eyes open, or my alarm wakes me up rather, but as soon as my eyes open, I pray. And I then obviously do the, your normal morning routine, bath, whatever the case is. And then I go and read the Bible. Once that's done, I then go and then, start looking at maybe trading opportunities, looking for setups. I love the future setups. I like saying, okay, there's a setup. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but it's a future setup. Okay. And then sharing it with the guys, like, hey, this is what I found. What's your thoughts? Whatever the case is. Yeah, so basically that's my daily routine. I just wake up, pray, do whatever needs to be done, read my Bible. Also, like, help my soul, like, ease into the day, and then go and look at the charts. Because I think, like, some people, when they wake up, the first thing they do is MetaTrader.
Yeah.
And yes, it's okay. But the thing is, we need to also prioritize certain things, and as I said, earlier, is that I'm also on a very spiritual path, and it's important for me to, start my day in that way.
Very interesting. I think a lot of people always get the misconception that when you wake up and you pray before you even interact with the markets, they think you're praying for like the direction you're in the markets. Yeah. I don't think it's really the case. I don't think it's about that, right?
It's not. It's not. The thing is, for me, as you're saying, like, people think that you're praying to God to say, hey, when I press the buy button, it needs to go up, you know what I mean? But no, it's not about that.
Yeah.
We if you don't mind, but I can share like a prayer that I would normally, I would ask for good decision making. Allow me to see the right setups and not bad setups, because that's the thing, right? Trading is about finding a setup and then taking that setup. And then, help my psychology, because, there's always going to be a day where something might distract you. So those are just the few things that I kind of pray for. It's not the same every day, obviously, but also just thanking God for just waking up.
Yeah.
I think that's so important. That's something that we forget. When we make it in a certain industry or whatever the case is, whether you're a doctor or whatever, trader, I feel like we forget about just thanking God for the simple things, like waking up that morning, that we always want our praise either to be asked or answered, or we've always got like a demand, but we can never give him the glory for, hey, thank you for waking me up today, because I feel like he's got the plan.
Yeah.
So that the fact that you just woke up means that your plan hasn't ended yet.
Yeah. You speak about an A+ setup. Does it make it, and if an A+ setup hits a stop loss, does it invalidate the A+ setup?
Not necessarily, right? Because the thing is, like, no strategy in this world, no matter who tells me it, I will never believe them, but no strategy is 100%, right? When market comes to, because we're predicting market to come to a specific point, and we're either going to buy or sell off that point, right? Let's just say market comes to 3:30, or well, we're at 3:30, and market comes to your point to either buy or sell. Because there might be something that Trump said, it's going to go either way, right? So if you're in a sell and Trump says something, it might buy. So it's also market conditions. So we also need to understand that. So it's not about it not being the A+ setup, but it's also about the market conditions.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you trade morning, midday, afternoon.
Yeah.
Which sessions are those? It's morning is
Asia.
Yeah.
But not that morning.
Not that
like
morning.
our morning.
Yes,
Our morning.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest. Truth be told, I'll be honest. The first trade I take is my mentor signal.
Okay.
Right? I'll play open cards. The second trade I take midday is my mentor signal. And then the third trade is my setup.
Okay.
Where I find my opportunity to trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like London, New York session.
New York, yeah.
New York,
Yeah.
Okay, nah,
Yeah.
that's cool. No, thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate so
Thank you for
much.
having me.
Appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, it
the
was
good
lovely.
conversation. Yes, it was lovely. Yeah. Any closing remarks?
No, I think, you know, there's one thing, and I'll keep on mentioning it: education. So if somebody's listening or watching rather, your education is key. Without your education, you're just gonna gamble. That's the difference between trading and gambling. You're not just thinking, oh, this machine or this market is gonna pay out today.
Yeah.
You know, it's based on analysis and stuff. So education is very key.
Perfect.
Cool.
Cool. And on that note, guys, if you guys looking for Devo's contact details or information, you'll find them down below to his handle, to his Instagram, or whatever.
TikTok.
TikTok,
Yeah.
whichever one it is. I know, guys, but thank you guys so much for watching. This was another installment of Market Masters with myself, Nqobile Tembane, and I'll see you guys same time, same place next week.